Hi, this is David with entry number 207, coming at you on the 27th of May, no, 27th of March. Today was Thursday. I taught 3, 4, and then, 5, 6, and then 2 periods of 3 and 4 back to back. I think on the whole, things are still going okay. I'm starting to get, I don't know what the word is, a little fatigued with how the kids are acting. So maybe I have to think of a way to kind of change things up a little, just to get them to act a little more normal. Because there's a lot of kind of wacky behavior going on that I don't really care that much about it, but it is just, I feel sometimes it's not making the class any better. And then, I don't know, I feel like if you don't maintain some kind of order, the kids kind of start resenting you for not maintaining order, even though they're getting to do whatever they want. They get kind of upset because, like when kids are acting out, they usually are just doing it to get attention, so that people will rein them back in. They want that. That's one of the things that I think a lot of people may not realize, is that a lot of things with kids, they act out, they don't know how to behave, in a normal society. So they'll act out when they need attention. You'll find, a lot of weird behavior, that gets manifested in different ways in children, like suicidality is different, and they aren't always what we would like to think they are, because their brains aren't developed. A lot of the more recent research is showing that things like heavy marijuana use can really damage a developing brain. And for a lot of humans, it's not until the age of around 20, 22 when the human brain starts to really solidify into what it will be. And so when you're 15, 13, whatever, and smoking marijuana, more than once a day, or once a day at least, you're doing irrevocable damage to your brain and how it will work in the future. Things like depression, mania, and schizophrenia are very real. Although schizophrenia, to be fair, is more of a chemistry thing than it is a structural thing. So, but you are doing massive amounts of structural damage to your brain if you're smoking marijuana in your teens. But yeah, things around the school are fine. Still is a little awkward with some of the other teachers, but not, unpleasantly awkward. Just kind of, you say hello, and then they kind of look at you for a second, and then they kind of shuffle away. And I guess that makes sense, but, it's a little strange. And, I'm a very reasonable person, and I feel like one of the big drawbacks I have is that if the direction isn't towards me, if it's not a forward direction, then I'm perfectly accepting of always being passive, as always being a passive role. But if I always am passive, then it leaves me out of a few things that I think I'd rather not be left out of. You might go like, "Oh, what's that?" But I don't really know how to describe it. But a lot of it is just social interaction, and if you never are the chaser, and you're always expecting to be chased, then you get left out a lot. And I think I just have to learn to be more of a chaser, I guess. Yeah, so, but school's fine, the kids are decent. it's hard when you kind of have that realization that they don't know any English. Even the kids that can have a big vocabulary or can speak decently, you try and go beyond like simple sentences and they don't know anything you're saying. And it just goes back to how impressive it is that the ones who are able to come to the US and just kind of ingratiate themselves so quickly into the American culture and language and all that. And the young people I met young Koreans I've met in America, their English has always been like pretty good, like they have a heavy accent or whatever, but they can hold a conversation. And when you're dealing with these kids, they just cannot hold conversation at all. They can barely string together sentences. They don't. The big thing that always comes back to for me is that there's no motivation for them to kind of learn English. And it's hard to say like, oh, you want to be this, you need English. It's like, well, can I just do that here in Korea? And it's like, oh, well, yeah. So it makes it a bit more challenging. And I know there are people who do it and do it better than me, but it's a bit of a frustration when you see there's some kids I see the potential in, that are so almost on the cusp of it all clicking together, but it's how to kind of teach them to want it to work together, to click together. They just don't want. A lot of them just don't want it, or they don't care. It's kind of like it's like if you become an apprentice for 15-20 years, and then when you're finally able to become a master, you just go, oh, I just wanted to talk to the master. I didn't want to do the work at all. I just wanted to kind of talk with him. And it's kind of like, I don't know, you've wasted all that time for something that, I guess you haven't really wasted it, but in some ways you've wasted all that time for what reason? You could be a master at this, but all you did was you went for point A instead of going for point A, you went for point B instead of going for point A, and now you've wasted both the master's time and your own time, really, because now you have this trade or the skill, but that was never the direct goal. It was just to kind of be around it. So I guess with the English thing, it's like they're being told to do English, so they approach it more like not a skill or something like that. They approach it more like I guess like a skill. Sorry, like a skill. Like they approach it like getting good at doing a yo-yo. So they get really good at doing all these tricks with the yo-yo, but when it comes to practical life, you can't really do much with a yo-yo. You're just gonna be good at yo-yoing. So with the kids, the English is technically good. They can write and that kind of stuff, but everything else just kind of falls to the shit when it really counts. So I don't know. I got something to think about, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. So thanks for watching entry number 207, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Oh, one other thing. I was gonna go to Seoul this weekend, but I'm thinking probably not now. Not really in the mood, not really feeling it. Seoul's great, and I know a lot of good people that are going in, and I know a lot of good people there, but I'm just tired, and every time I go I end up staying up really late, and I really would rather not do that again. So I might go in the next week. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Bye.